This is Paul. Acts chapter 17. Now, when they had passed through Amphipolis, and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where was a synagogue of the Jews. And Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them, and three Sabbath days, reasoned with them out of the Scriptures, opening and alleging that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead, and that this Jesus whom I preach unto you is Christ. And some of them believed and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few. Now, it could mean that there was quite a few of them, or it could mean that there wasn't very many of them, because it could mean the opposite of what I think it means. But the Jews which believed not, moved with envy, took unto them certain lewd fellows, of the baser sort, gathered a company and set all the city on an uproar, assaulted the house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people. Mhm. Now, these baser sorts, the lewd fellows, the use of muscle, really, those in the family, they really have a sickness. It's a disease that they were sure that we were going to have a virtualized economy. Where our sexual nerve endings were going to be used to, come some money. But we're not. And then there was the thought, well, we have to be on all of them because we have to be them because we have to control them. But we're not. Now, I don't want Mike Van Proyn controlling Marilyn and her kids. And I've informed the police that the use of Susan Bauer's image, it's really spousal abuse. Pooch. I wouldn't know why Marilyn would respect such a man. That didn't want the whole world to know how attractive she is. Now, you say that I have nothing to say about Marilyn right now. I'd say that you used an image of my sister, Susan Bowers, with the intention of humiliating Marilyn Van Proyn as a little old biddy. And then causing me to be angry right now so that Mike could receive the pleasure of causing all that, distress. Now, this lewd fellow, right now, known as Mike Van Proyn, I want you to prosecute him. And I want Marilyn and her kids to reside with me. I want us to live in a hotel. And I want my sons. Now, having been separated from them for 9 years on July 2nd of 2020, I think you've used your judicial power long enough. Now, I'm for sure, not wanting muscle to decide, what we do as a nation. I want law enforcement to enforce the laws. I want to use the judicial system to file lawsuits. I want held liable those that have liability. Right now! Now, these lewd individuals and their need, that they were envious, of the very thought of me disconnecting them from the population. So we no longer have to live with them making any decisions for our personal lives. Where they were a baser sort. Right now! And they wanted to gather a large company. So as to cause an uproar. Mhm. Yeah. We're not we're not going to do things the way that Mike and Bent Braisden wanted to do things. We're not going to run around as little Nazis. Using racial hygiene as a reason to support your idea of the master race. And for all the half breeds, we are not going to have a master race of law enforcement. You will not excuse false arrest, fabricated evidence, bribery, or corruption. You will prosecute any and all knowledge of crime. And then when I say that I'm volunteering, and I ask them to volunteer, they will be informed of what they're doing. Yeah, and it's with that consent that we do things. Mhm. Now, the police and sheriffs took it upon themselves to sew in without the population understanding what you were doing. Yeah, and your whole excuse was, well, we just have to, because we have to have the sexual nerve endings of the population. The idiocy is, yes, it's the over 70s that actually have the nerve endings of the population. The thought of having sex with your grandmother. For a lot of us, that is a very unattractive thought. Now, for every woman, yes, that is ovulating from the age of 18 to 55, yeah, how many of you want to be having sex with 80-year-olds right now? Oh my God.